What's up, guys? Today we're taking a look at why it's impossible for a lot of people in this country to own a home or even rent a place to live. Let's see what's going on.
Why? When it comes to the $2,500 rent, they typically want 2 to 3 times the rent in income, which is kind of ridiculous if you ask me, which would be $60,000 in this example, and then they want you to have decent credit. But if you're carrying $500 a month in a car payment, $500 a month in student loans, and $200 a month in credit cards, your landlord doesn't care. But when you go to buy a house, this debt really matters. And this $2,500 isn't just the principal and interest. It's also the property tax, homeowner's insurance, potential HOA, and potential private mortgage insurance. So to qualify for $2,500 a month, you would need to earn about $80,000 because the lender's going to typically give you about a 40% debt to income ratio, giving you a monthly allowance of $2,667. So you would barely qualify, but you could qualify. However, if you're carrying this $1,200 a month in debt payments, they subtract it from your allowance, bringing this down to just $1,467, so you would no longer qualify. In fact, with this amount and this debt, you'd only qualify for about $180,000 to $200,000 home. That's why it's important to work on paying off your debt or raising your income if you're looking to purchase it.
Him and his wife just got pre-approved for a mortgage. The mortgage in question, about $450. The monthly payment on said mortgage, it was close to $5,000. He said they both make good money, they both have great credit, but after all of the PMI, taxes, everything that goes into the mortgage payment monthly, $5,000 on a $450,000 home. And I bet, he didn't say this, but I bet that home wasn't anything great. I hate to say that, but it probably was like a little 3-bedroom ranch. Nothing wrong with the 3-bedroom ranch. I'd be thrilled with it. But in my mind, if I'm paying $5,000 a month on something, I want a McMansion. I want to feel that $5,000. I want to relax in that $5,000. I want to not have a worry in the world. Everything is perfect. Everything is checks off my bucket list. Everything, it's the house of my dreams when I'm paying $5,000 a month. You feel me? Same thing's happening here in North Carolina. And then my parents have the audacity to say, why don't you just find something cheaper, like $270, $220 even? Well, the only house that's available for $250 is a little 800 square foot home that's abandoned and covered up with like grass and weeds, and there's a tree growing in it. It's not even foreclosed. It's for sale. So yeah, I'm gonna be renting for the rest of my life. Good times.
I'm just gonna rant for a second, and this might not make a lot of sense, and it might not even be relevant to you, but do you want to know why average everyday people are not buying houses? Average everyday people. It's not interest rates. I know interest rates aren't great. They suck. It sucks, okay? But the bottom line is that argument's just not doing it for me anymore. The reason why average everyday people are not buying houses is because they don't want you to. They being the lenders. They make it literally impossible to get a house to close. Almost as if they don't want to take your money, okay? And I know it's different from lender to lender, all right? But my biggest issue right now with this entire process is, well, where did that money come from? None of your freaking business. All you need to know is that I have it. Where did this 5 cents come from? And where did you get that $500? None of your freaking business. None of your freaking business. All you need to know is that the money is there in my account, ready for you to take it. Take it. Okay, all right.
Okay, not to be a negative Nelly, but what the actual is going on with housing prices? I live in Charlottesville, and there are shithole ranchers that haven't been touched since the 1970s that are 1.4 million. Make it make sense.
I don't think it was ever this difficult to buy a house in this country, ever. Like, you have to be really kicking ass. 2 people in a household making 70, 80K a piece, 0 debt, perfect credit score to even be able to qualify for a house nowadays. I don't know what people are going to do. Let me know down below if you guys are renting or if you're trying to buy a house, if you're waiting for the market to change. Like, are you just giving up completely? Like, this is out of my hands. I'm just going to stay where I am right now because obviously I can't afford this. Let me know what you think down below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do hit the like button and let's get back to it.
And what the f are you talking about? It doesn't upset me for us because we aren't the average American family. I work a very niche job in the oil field. I make a very good income. My wife is a nurse. She does very good for herself, and combined, we have a very comfortable living in our home. But for the average American, this is way far out of reach. In our area, we live in East Texas, okay? A good home is going to be at least at least $400,000, if not $450 to $500. Okay, I try to explain this to my mom. She's telling me, "Oh, y'all just go get you a little $200,000 house." Mama, these $200,000 houses are down shack. We're looking at the numbers, looking at our income, looking at our credit, and they have us at $450,000, 5% down, $22,000. Thank God we got a little bit of money saved. They have our mortgage after PMI, after insurance, after taxes at $4,636 a month. What the are you talking about? Okay, and the thing is, we could afford it. We actually could afford to spend that money on a mortgage every month. But a $5,000 mortgage? Who are y'all selling these houses to? Because we are outliers, okay? Not everybody is fortunate to have the jobs that we have. What about the regular families that bring in combined $100,000 a year? They will never qualify for this. What the is like?
Serious question. Where did we go wrong? And when I say that, I mean, like, am I missing something? Because I'm just thinking about this because I just passed this giant house being built in around like our hometown. And there's constantly new houses and new buildings going up and shit. And I just want to know, how the are people affording this? Like, where did I go wrong? My husband and I have college degrees. We both have full-time jobs. Now we have student loan debt. But like, am I, like, seriously, are these all doctors? Like, what are they doing? What do you guys do for work? How are you affording these ginormous houses? One, in this economy, and two, just in general. Like, what am I, somebody tell me, what, if you built a new house this year, what are you making a year? And how much did it cost you? Are you just in a shitload of debt and like you just don't care? Is that what we're gonna have to do eventually? My husband and I are renting our house right now. We've sold our house last May, so over a year ago. And we're renting because rent was cheaper than our mortgage, which was like a miracle. That's unheard of, but we found a place.
I don't know where people are going to go from here. Like, how much higher can it go? What do you guys think? Is there going to be a crash? Is something going to happen? Because I don't see how this is sustainable. And then what are these kids that are coming out of college going to do? How are they supposed to even rent a place? I'll tell you what, if you're still able to live at your parents' house, I don't think there's no shame in that. Stay at your parents' house, save as much money as you possibly can, because you'll need it.
Our budget is $500,000. We looked at 6 houses and 5 of them were fixer-uppers. Nasty. Talking like exposed nails hanging out of the floorboards. Like the kitchen hasn't been touched since 1982. And the only one that was kind of nice was in the literal hood. Oh, and besides that, it was actually only 2 bedrooms, even though it was advertised as 3 bedrooms. So there's that. And the house right next to it was a literal dump site.
So my husband and I viewed this beautiful house, beautiful property, amazing view, pretty secluded. The only thing is that the house was built in 1945, so we were kind of, worried about that. Anyway, by the way, we're done house hunting. We're just going to stick to an apartment for the meantime. And put in an offer at the asking price. We are not getting into bidding wars. Like, we're not doing that. And we have a pretty good idea. Like, we don't get emotional. And we know what we're willing to spend, and we will stop at that. Anyway, we put in this offer. We come to find out that someone put in an offer for like $50,000 over the asking price. That's crazy. I guess you just can't win right now.
I'm telling you, it's going to be damn near impossible for most people to buy a house. Here, I just looked it up right here. 70% of Americans make under $70,000 a year. 70%. Who are these houses going to sell to? I just feel like there's going to have to be some sort of big crash. People cannot sustain this. There's only so many houses that are going to get sold for 100% higher than they were a few years ago. I'm hoping for a lot of people. I know it's going to suck if you're selling a house at that time, but something has to happen. Something has to change. People cannot afford these prices. No wonder we're seeing so many videos of people living in their cars or looking for RVs. It's just not sustainable right now. Thank you guys for joining me in this video, and until next time, peace.